I'm on the big screen now. Bonjour classe, bonjour et bienvenue au français, au cours de français 1. Aujourd'hui, nous allons étudier la vocabulaire de la chapitre 2 et c'est à propos des cours. C'est à propos des cours. So today we are going to study your vocabulary for Unit 2. And that is all about your classes, all about your units that you have studied or the things that you're studying now. In class, so far, we've learned about nouns and them being feminine and masculine and plural, so gender and quantity. We've learned about articles, the definite articles that we know, les articles définis, le, la, l, l'apostrophe, et les, being pluriel. Et nous avons les indéfinis, les articles un, une, and des. Un is masculin, une féminin, des pluriel. So we know about our articles and we also know about les adjectifs. Les adjectifs. Les adjectifs doivent avoir un accord. They must be in agreement with the nouns that they modify. So, ils doivent avoir un accord avec le nom qu'ils modifient. So we're looking at nouns and articles, looking at nouns and adjectives. A couple of examples would be je suis optimiste, or je suis indépendante. If I was a guy, I would say je suis indépendant pour le masculin. We've also learned about the verb être. The first verb, être, and remember the story about être being a lazy verb in its infinitive state, and then it becomes active, and all these crazy things start happening to it. So don't forget that story; it's really important. So je suis, I am. Tu es, you are. Il est, he is. Elle est, she is. On est, one is in general, or we are casually. Nous sommes, we are. Vous êtes, y'all are, or you, formal, right? Are. And then ils sont, they are, and elles sont, they are. Quelle est la différence entre ils sont et elles sont? Ils sont masculins, elles sont féminins. Ils sont masculins or a mixed group, un groupe mélangé. Okay, so that's this. And so that's where we are right now. Now we're starting with Unit 2A, and here we're going to be using the verb aimer, which means to love, to love. I know, I just did that. What is this all about? And we're going to be talking like in your schedules and things like that, okay? All right, so let's get to it. Here we go. See, I took myself out of full screen there. Isn't that pretty nice? Kind of proud of myself. Okay, let me pull this over here. I'll put myself up here. Hi, I'm still here. And let's talk about our vocabulary. So here's the vocabulary for Unit 2A. Voici le vocabulaire pour la chapitre 2A. Et nous avons les cours. Les cours is courses. Let's look at the types of courses that you might have, okay? The first thing I want to look at before we start looking at these pictures is I want to look at this vocabulary here, this first section here. This is going to be you describing how you feel about a test, or how you feel about a course. J'aime bien, répétez s'il vous plaît. J'aime bien, I like. Je n'aime pas tellement. Je n'aime pas tellement. Répétez. Je n'aime pas tellement. I don't like very much. So if I wanted to say, j'aime bien le français, which is a true statement, c'est la vérité. J'aime bien le français, that is, I like French class. Je n'aime pas tellement les mathématiques. Je n'aime pas les mathématiques. Or, je n'aime pas les sciences. Okay, so it just tells you which one you like, thumbs up, and which ones you don't like, thumbs down. Okay, and then être reçu à un examen is to pass an exam. So je suis reçu. Let me write that up there. That's not for you guys. I apologize. So if I were saying être reçu à un examen, is this a lazy verb? Is this lazy? Or is this active? The biggest thing you want to look at is this right here, être. Is être a lazy verb? Oui. It's very lazy, paresseuse. It's a very lazy verb. So what we want to change that to is we want to say maybe je suis reçu à un examen. Je suis reçu à un examen means I am passing an exam. I pass an exam. Okay? Je suis reçu à un examen. All right. Now we get into the specifics about our courses. So this little section here, in between this line and this one, is going to talk about some of our courses. The first course, le premier cours is l'architecture. L'architecture, architecture. L'art, art. Le droit is law. L'éducation physique, physical education, that was pretty obvious. La gestion is business administration. Les lettres, humanities. And that's going to be talking about like English and things like that. La philosophie, philosophy. Les sciences politiques, or you could say les sciences po for short, political science. Les sciences in general would just be science in general. And then le stylisme. Le stylisme, fashion design. You can think about that as being style, okay? Which obviously I have tons of. I'm just kidding. All right. Actually, I'm not kidding. I really am quite stylish, right? Yes? Oui? Oh, I hope so. All right, third section here, we've got things that have to do with scholarships and just the ins and outs of school. Une bourse is a scholarship or a grant. Une bourse. I hope all of you receive des bourses when you go to college. Une cantine, cafeteria. Un cours is a class or a course. Un devoir is a homework. We normally put that in plural form because a lot of times you have 4 classes during the day. You'll have more homework. Les devoirs or des devoirs. Un diplôme is a diploma or a degree. L'école is a school. Les études is education or your studies. And then les études supérieures is higher education. That's going to be university stuff. Let's see here. Le gymnase, gymnasium. Une note is a grade. You'll see that at the top of your tests every single time. That's not where your name goes. Une note is your grade. Un restaurant universitaire. Un restaurant universitaire or un resto U is a university cafeteria. So when you guys go to Auburn or UGA or something along those lines, or any college of your choosing, I'm not partial. I just happen to say War Eagle a lot. It's not a big deal. It's okay. It's all good. You will see the university cafeterias. And then we've got some adjectives here. Difficile, difficult, which actually could be a thumbs up too. Difficile. Facile, easy. Inutile, useless. And then utile, useful. And then finally, the last one on this list is surtout, which means especially. So if I were to say, le français est surtout utile, it means that the French class is especially useful. Le français est surtout utile, which is a totally, completely true statement. All right, let's look at a couple of these vocabulary words here in the picture, and you can kind of get an idea of what they are. L'informatique. What is this? What is she doing here? What is she doing? L'informatique. We're looking at computer science. Les mathématiques. That's pretty obvious, but I want you to keep in mind, math has a lot of components to it. Geometry, algebra, trigonometry, calculus, which still to this day gives me heart palpitations if I think about my calculus class in high school. But algebra, geometry, trigonometry, calculus, other things that are math related. Okay, there are more different types of math, so it is a plural sense. Les mathématiques. Then you move up just a smidge. We've got la physique. La physique, we're looking at physics. La géographie. La géographie is geography. Okay, and you see what she's saying to the young man. What she's saying to the young man, she's saying, "J'adore la géographie." J'adore la géographie. I love geography. I want you guys to keep in mind, however, one quick thing. Adorer also means to worship. So please keep in mind that when we say adorer, there's an intense love there that, especially for me, and this is just my view, that I reserve for the men upstairs. So I normally refuse to say j'adore la géographie. I don't worship geography. I worship something bigger and higher. So it's up to you, but I just want you to know that is adorer is in French normally reserved for worship. So j'adore la géographie. Je déteste la physique. Je déteste la physique. Ugh, I hate it. Hate physics. Okay. And these two verbs, adorer and détester, we're going to look at those a little bit further and see how we're going to say you like something, he likes something, she likes something. We'll talk a little bit about that. But détester is an infinitive verb. It is a lazy verb, détester. But in the sentence, je déteste la physique, it becomes active. Adorer here is an infinitive verb, and it's by itself in that parentheses right there with that er at the end of it. It's infinitive, it's lazy, but once it's assigned to a person, it becomes active. So j'adore, I love. Okay. We've got la chimie. La chimie, we're looking at chemistry. La chimie. And la biologie, biology. La chimie and la biologie. Okay. Moving on to page 39, we'll look at the rest of our vocabulary here. My favorite, mon préféré, le cours préféré pour Madame Dignon, c'est les langues étrangères. Les langues étrangères, we're looking at foreign languages. L'économie, we're looking at economy. L'histoire. What do you think that is? Let's use a cognate there to try to figure out what l'histoire is. I'll ask you when you come back to class. And then finally, la psychologie. La psychologie. We're actually pronouncing the P, the S, and the Y. Psychologie. La psychologie, we do pronounce that P. La psychologie, we're looking at psychology. Let's do a couple of exercises here. Okay. In which classes, dans quelle classe, activité ou endroit est-ce que nous associons les mots? Le premier, manger, manger. Où est-ce que nous mangeons? Où est-ce que nous mangeons? Nous mangeons à la cantine. Nous mangeons à la cantine. Let's see here. Numéro 1, la cantine. La cantine et manger vont ensemble. La cantine et manger vont ensemble. Numéro 2, nous avons un ordinateur. Qu'est-ce que ça veut dire un ordinateur? Un ordinateur veut dire a computer, oui. Et dans quel cours est-ce qu'on utilise un ordinateur? Moi, je dirais l'informatique. OK? Le français avec les langues étrangères. Le français, les langues étrangères. Les langues étrangères, oui. OK? Vous allez continuer avec numéro 4. Vous allez continuer avec numéro 4, numéro 5, numéro 6, numéro 7 et numéro 8. Continuez. So, compléter. What do you think compléter means? So, compléter numéro 4 à 8 sur la section numéro 1. Et vous allez continuer et vous allez lire, you're going to read, vous allez lire chaque phrase et dis-moi si c'est vrai ou faux. Tell me whether or not it's true or false, okay? Okay, and your answers may differ from somebody else's answers. So you're actually completing numbers 4 through 8 on section number 1, and then I'd like for you to also do section number 3. Okay? And you'll submit your answers through the Google Drive, which is where you found this video. Okay? When we come back to class, we are going to be talking about the ease and the difficulties of your classes. We're going to talk about the usefulness and the unusefulness of the things. Interesting. We'll use a lot of those adjectives that we had during the previous unit, 1B, and we'll talk a lot about those. And then I think we have a couple of other activities that we can work, and then we'll get started with Unit 2A.1. Have a nice day. Bonne journée. Au revoir.